Good afternoon to you from Trust Arena in Henderson, New Zealand. It's the OFC Futsal Invitational, and it's the opening match, Tahiti against Vanuatu. I'm Gordon Glenn Watson, and alongside me is OFC futsal expert Paul Tui. Paul, we've got an interesting game in store and an interesting tournament in store.
Yes, it's great to be here, Gordon. Certainly the tournament culmination of it.
We don't hear Paul. Talk, Gordon. We don't hear Paul.
Okay, so Group B, Tahiti, Vanuatu, New Zealand Invitational and Australia. It would be Tahiti and Australia who are heavily favoured to advance to the next stage. As we take a look at the team list for Tahiti, Matana Bea, the skipper, is widely regarded as the heartbeat of this Tahitian lineup. Just 21 years of age, and coach Hetapu Hunter will be looking to him to direct this Tahitian performance. For Vanuatu, Louis Dominique is going to rely heavily on Jackie John and Ben Hungai, his two most experienced players, but they do have their work cut out for them. This Tahitian side has been in intense preparation for this tournament, and they are fast building a track record as one of Oceania's premier futsal sides.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the national anthem of Tahiti Nui.
We pause for the national anthems. Plenty of pride and passion shown on the faces of the Tahitian players as we await the Vanuatu national anthem. Well, one or two of the Vanuatu lineup sporting gloves.
Okay, we're going to try Paul.
And Paul, it's going to be a difficult game for Vanuatu to get to grips with this Tahitian team.
Yes, it's a tough one for them, Gordon. It's a very new team. Certainly Vanuatu have got one eye on the future and qualification for the next World Cup, and so they've started with a young side, and this Tahiti side really starting to build momentum now. They've been training since February, quite intense training, and they had, of course, New Zealand visit them in April for a 3-match series and took that out 3-0. So, yeah, as we say, building some momentum there. Tough for Vanuatu, and they're feeling the cold by the look of it.
Absolutely, and of course the heavyweight side in this group is Australia from the AFC.
Yeah, and I had the pleasure of watching that side over the weekend down in Wellington against New Zealand. 3-0, 4-0 and 7-0. A classy side. 5 of the guys coming back from their World Cup campaign last year, and then 7 new players, 3 or 4.
So the match officials for today's game, referee Ryan Shepherd from Australia. The second referee is Darius Turner, also from Australia. And Janut Dean is joined by Amitesh Bihari, who is the timekeeper. Amitesh Bihari, of course, officiated at the last FIFA Futsal World Cup, and tells us that it's his long-term ambition to get a string of these tournament appearances up. Certainly an ambitious match official. An intriguing game ahead of us. And Paul, New Zealand Invitational side, obviously you would have to rank them as huge underdogs.
Yeah, it's basically the second string New Zealand side. They've had a wider squad of 24, 25 players, and it's the 12 guys who didn't make the number 1 team. But what I like about that side, Gordon, it's young and quick, and they haven't had a lot of preparation time, but I think we'll see a bit of flair from them. And I saw them training this morning. Great spirit in that side.
So the coin toss taking place in centre court. Martin Abea, the captain of Tahiti, handshakes all round. Ben Hangai of Vanuatu. And one final moment for group preparation. Of course, Tahitian football was on the world stage at the FIFA Confederations Cup, and although the connection between futsal and football is quite distinct, there's no doubt that the mood in Tahitian football and futsal generally is on the up.
And of course we've got the beach soccer coming up too, Gordon.
Of course, the beach soccer. The FIFA Beach Soccer World Cup being held in Tahiti as well. For Vanuatu, it's all about development perhaps, but they do have this extraordinary record of competing at OFC futsal events. They have a runners-up finish to their credit as the high watermark for their achievements. But it might be expecting just a little bit too much of Louis Dominique's side to reach those sorts of levels. They've got a tough group and they're underway. Tahiti starting the game for us. The skipper, Bea. Pukoki has a shot, takes a deflection. Some consultation going on between Ryan Shepherd and Darius Turner. Here is Bea, long range shot. Oh, and it's taken a helpful deflection. Tahiti take the lead, somewhat fortuitously.
Yeah, that was a slice of luck, Gordon.
Moti Tino. Well, it doesn't matter how they go in, Paul, as long as they do, and that's a great start for Tahiti.
Yeah, and that's really a reward for taking up a great position on the back post, Gordon. You know, that's what you need when you've got a set piece, and he was a bit lucky, but if he wasn't there, it wouldn't have happened.
Jackie John. Ben Hangai. Back with Jackie John. Tahitian side defending very compactly. There is a long range shot from Donald Avic. Hangai for Avic. Albert Toe. Looking to work onto his right foot perhaps. Well, this is what Vanuatu can do, but they're in a spot of bother here on the counter-attack. They've halted it.
And that's something to watch for with this Tahitian side, Gordon. Just that deep defence, two guys in front of the back two, and then they'll counter-attack quickly. They did it really well against New Zealand earlier this year.
And the long-range shot doesn't trouble the goalkeeper. Apera Te Tauira. Matana Bea. Motetino, the goal scorer. Well, right idea by the Tahitian skipper, just not the correct execution. Donald Avick. Patient build-up by Vanuatu, trying to work their way through. There's a long-range shot, another one from Donald Avick. Not on target, though.
Stadium looking great, Gordon, isn't it?
It's a fantastic venue for futsal. As we see Vanuatu on the break. Nice defending by the skipper. Well, certainly a venue with some physical stability, Paul.
Yeah, did you catch a bit of the YouTube the other day, Gordon?
Yes, it looked extremely shaky,
It was
to
worse.
say the least.
It was worse than it looked.
Of course, Wellington hit by a series of earthquakes during the ASB Trans-Tasman Trophy between Australia and New Zealand. Oh, and the shot hits the upright, comes back to Albert Toe. So Vanuatu knocking on the door. Some lovely skill on the ball by Albert Toe. Has he got a shot with his left foot?
Here's
He
that
does.
counter again.
Quite correct, Paul. They're executing a fast counter-attack, but happy to play back.
Yeah, and Vanuatu just getting organised quickly there, so that's good.
Well, the back heel finding Tino. First series of changes for both sides. This was a feature under Scott Gilligan when he was involved with Tahiti. He was very much in favour of rapid fire changes. Vanuatu showing a lot of composure on the ball. They do work it around nicely.
You saw Australia, just getting back to Australia, Gordon, they were looking in top shape with 5 or 6 new players coming into that side, young guys as well, and very quick, great movement, great first touch, and I think Stephen Knight, his men are going to be the ones to beat. Malaysia too, they've had a very busy year. They've played upwards of 20 games, I think, and they've just had a recent tour of Spain. So again, on the other side of the group, of course, they've got New Caledonia later today.
Yes, that will be intriguing. Of course, Malaysia also drew with England 2-2.
They did. They had a 4-match, a quadrangular series: Poland, USA, and England. And I think I'm right in saying they had a 4-4 draw last year with Australia. So, you know, if they get to meet each other in this tournament, that's going to be a cracker as well.
Alexis Tufa. Tufa again. Oh, and Mana Farahia just unlucky with the attempted step over.
Farahia, one of the veterans of this side. Remember him well in the OFC Futsal Championship final, that classic game with Solomon Islands to go to the World Cup last time. Scored their 4th goal. Tahiti were leading 4-1, as you'll recall, Gordon.
Yes, yes.
And of course the Solomons prevailed in the end, 6-4. But nice to see him still playing and working with the federation, doing a bit of coaching, I believe.
Well, it's a key element in ensuring that the upward trajectory of Tahitian futsal continues on its way. Because I remember the first Tahitian national side in the modern era was comprised largely of a team from the island of Rapa.
That's right, and I think there's still 3 of those guys in that team. But yes, it's been they've got a fantastic program over there, very comprehensive, grassroots futsal, girls, boys, women's, men's, and it's really part of the football culture over there, and I love to go to Tahiti just because there's so much enthusiasm for futsal and so much belief in the game, and I'm sure it'll have benefits into their football as well.
Jackie John for Vanuatu. Switches play to Donald Avik. Back with John. And just got on the wrong page with Joseph Hang Kong.
So
Tufa.
Sorry, Gordon. Just Jackie John and Ben Hungai back from 2011, I think.
Well, they are regarded by Coach Louis Dominique as his two most experienced players. Jackie John.
Louis himself was in that side. One of the classy players they had in that team of 2011.
Well, Vanuatu aren't too flustered by having to do most of their work in mid-court. They've already shown us that their players possess a stinging long-range shot, and they could be happy to build towards that now. Great defending. Wonderful defending by Alexis Tufa. Oh, and it's off the post again. Well, Apera Tete Tauera didn't really know too much about that, Paul.
Yeah, and twice now they've rattled the woodwork. It's intriguing, isn't it? Tahiti happy to sit back and just let Vanuatu play with it.
Well, Vanuatu have also shown no fear. Although there was a little show of technique there by goalkeeper Glendon Masai to put Tahiti on the attack. Yes, Tahiti have come a long way since their early days with Rapa winning the Tahitian Futsal tournament.
Yes, and they nearly went to the World Cup, didn't they? They were ever so close. But it's a great story.
Well, now expectations have grown, and the FIFA Futsal World Cup is the target, a realistic target.
I actually caught up with Scott Gilligan at the airport the other day after we were delayed at after the earthquake, and he's got very fond memories of that campaign.
No, it certainly captured the imagination of futsal fans around Oceania and further afield. But back in the present day, in the present moment, it's Vanuatu who are trying to pull back this one-goal deficit. So far, so good. I think Louis Dominic won't be too displeased as we see Tahiti rushing forward.
That's Tino again. Great skill. Beautiful drag back, and away he goes. He wears the number 12 because that's what Falcao wears for Brazil.
Well, trying to find a way through this blanket Tahitian defence is difficult. And a chance to counter-attack for Tahiti and Upper Chung. Well, Louis Dominique had his team in camp some 6 weeks prior to this tournament start, and there has been a thorough search for young up-and-coming players who can take the national team forward. And on the evidence of this opening spell, the Vanuatu don't look too bad. Oh, and that's a good build-up. Now Tahiti on the counter. A chance to double the lead, just out of the reach.
Yeah, it's a good approach.
Antoine Tave.
Good approach, Gordon. The previously, sometimes Vanuatu had assembled teams late, and often football players rather than futsal specialists would appear. And just that 6-week period that Louis had with them, you're starting to see some of the benefits of that here. They look to have good combination, good movement, and they've got a bit of speed as well.
Yes, it's a point well made, Paul. Certainly I can recall the Vanuatu side from a couple of years ago featuring Fedi Vava, who was playing his club football for Tawhea and was the national team skipper for football.
That's right, Fedi Vava, number 3. He was impressive all the same.
He was impressive all the same, but as you say, the shift towards futsal specialists is quite clear, because that Vanuatu side leaked goals.
Yes, that's right. The semi-final, 13-1, I think, against Solomon. A lot of these guys would play in the Port Vila League or the Schaefer League, so they're regularly playing. They're training and playing every week throughout the year, and I think in almost all the cases they wouldn't be playing football. It would just be futsal.
No way through Tahiti at the moment. Motetino blocking the shot. Donald Davick. Oh, it's in! Vanuatu are level.
It's well deserved too.
Absolutely, no doubt about it. They've had the lion's share of possession. Tahiti have been content to just sit back in deep court and try and play on the counter-attack, and Vanuatu have some fruit for their labours.
And a great start to the tournament, really, Gordon, isn't it? We were talking about Tahiti being overwhelming favourites, and already it's 1-1.
Well, yes, for the loser of this game, the match with Australia suddenly becomes something of a knockout. And Vanuatu can perhaps sense an upset. And make no mistake, this would be an upset if they could knock over Tahiti. Havoc.
And a lot of anticipation for tonight, Gordon, New Zealand Solomon Islands.
Yes, that is a mouth-watering fixture. Certainly cannot wait to see both sides take the court here at Truss Arena.
Yeah, New Zealand will be hurting after the 3-0 whitewash of Australia. Solomons were late arriving, actually. They were meant to come Sunday. There were some delays with their flight. They turned up in the early hours of yesterday morning and had a chance to train last night. But yeah, once again, like the World Cup campaign, they haven't had any games really prior to the tournament, other than just some local games at the multi-purpose hall, but not a full-size court. So it's difficult to make that transition. But if anyone can do it, it's them.
Well, they've also had an element of drama attached to their national team. Jack Whitney, of course, was a notable omission for the FIFA Futsal World Cup.
Yes.
There was some controversy around that.
Along with Lenson Basili and David Lafai, but they're back. All three are back. And there's an interesting other name, new one, Whaarodo in there, a young one. So had a look at him last night, Gordon. I like the look of that fella.
I'm not surprised with a surname like Whaarodo. Of course, Henry Whaarodo has blazed a trail in the Australian National League in football and for various New Zealand ASB Premiership clubs.
They looked good too last night, Solomon. They relish every opportunity to play.
Handball spotted by the officials. Yes, well, there was also some talk that Elliot Rigomo was going to be hindered by injury.
Yeah, we spoke with him last night. I think he's okay. He certainly was getting around the court in his usual fashion. Of course, when the World Cup was on, just prior to that, he he contracted malaria, so he wasn't well throughout the Spain tour and then into the World Cup. Still managed to score against Colombia, and you know, a real charismatic leader, Elliot. Great guy, real smart guy, and knows how to lead that wonderful Kuru side. But I think what the crowds here would love to see is Elliot in full form again, full flight.
Yes, he's something to behold, Elliot Ragomo, when he's fully fit. But you mentioned, of course, his adaptability, and he's got some degree of character about him. And that comes with experience. Of course, everybody knows that Elliot Ragomo began his futsal career in the interesting surrounds of Spain, having come through futsal. Oh, and that's hit the upright. Goalkeeper showing us that he didn't get a hand on it. Glendon Maasai will be perhaps thankful that he didn't. It was travelling. But so far, so good for Vanuatu. Joseph Takaro, and the shot, not a good one. Still, there's plenty of bounce and pep in the body language of these Vanuatu players.
It's great.
They'll be looking for a result here, and they'll feel they can get it. Tahiti being pushed all the way. Maasai gets the counter-attack going quickly. Well, the long-range shot was never going to get through all those bodies, and the ball getting stuck in Tevari Kaiha's feet. This is Ben Hangai. And overcooked the pass, the Vanuatu skipper. Alexis Tufa. Oh, and a chance perhaps about to present itself for Vanuatu just before he could pull the trigger. Albert Toe, Apera Tetoera with a wonderful save. He's paid for his bravery though. He's going to need some treatment. Selfless goalkeeping.
Great keeping, Gordon. So a touch of nerves probably for Tahiti at the moment.
Just for information, we don't have replay. The 3-play computer shut down and doesn't want to restart. So Lucina went to the office to pick up the backup. Okay, just for information, we have no replay right now for the first match.
So Tatoira has recovered. Tahiti now back on track. Well, that's given away cheaply. Vanuatu patient in their build-up. They had a spare player at the back post. Well, this is turning into a tense affair.
Yeah, it's great. It's just what we need to kickstart the tournament, Gordon. There was a lot of talk just with the guys on the technical study group before. We were talking about the various teams and wondering who was going to be favourites, and of course we knew about Australia and Solomon Islands and Malaysia, but just not sure about Vanuatu. And yeah, they've given us all something to think about. Tahiti got a lot on their plate here. Great.
Oh, that was wonderful.
Yeah.
Just couldn't get it on target. Yes, quite right, Paul. It's turning into a compelling viewing in the opening match. Tahiti 1, Vanuatu 1. Albert Toe does well. Trying to set up a shot, but not enough room for Jesse Takaro to wind one back.
He's trouble.
Oh, that wasn't a bad ball. It just eluded Ben Hangai at the crucial moment. Paul, would you say the initiative is with Vanuatu at the moment,
Oh,
or Tahiti?
I would. I mean, Tahiti are often happy to let the other side have the ball and counter-attack and sit quite deep. It's something they train a lot in and are comfortable with. But my feeling at the moment is that Vanuatu have got their towels up and are really enjoying that possession, and the movement's good, and they're hungry. And so, yeah, it's going to be hard to pick this one.
Takaro. Hangai. Well, the pace just slowing for the moment. Good pressing by Tahiti. Gabi Cavera. Oh, he's hit the post. Would you believe it? Danger's not clear.
Posts are getting a lot of work, Gordon. I think that's 4 times in this half.
Yes, both goalkeepers can thank their metal friends for some defensive assistance. Alberto. Oh, lovely skill, but just overhit the final touch. Alexis Tufa. Tufa on the overlap. Long range shot over the crossbar.
Nicely done by Tahiti, and a great run to the back post, but perhaps if he could have picked him out, it would have had its reward.
Yes, a fascinating clash between two sides with two very different styles. As you say, it's clear that Vanuatu enjoy the amount of possession they're getting, and you have to ask how comfortable Tahiti will be with this approach should Vanuatu take the lead.
That's right. Vanuatu just happy to rotate and try and play the ball into that pivot, just dictating the tempo, looking to work an opening.
Jesse Takaro for Vanuatu. Pako Rakom loses out. Tahiti can't punish Vanuatu. Usiera Pukoki, the player who knocked the ball out. So we restart with Vanuatu. Donald Avok. Rakom going through the legs of his opponent, and a chance for Tahiti to counter-attack. Matetino. Well, it was hit at Matetino with too much power. He couldn't control that. Now Donald Avok. Pako Rakom. Oh, good save. That was a very good save. It was an excellent shot. 2 balls on court. So the match will restart. Rakom with the interception. Hang on, that's an intelligent pass. Vanuatu. Oh, and it was an opportunity to take the lead.
Great break from Vanuatu again, just causing all sorts of problems for Tahiti.
You know, they are unfortunate not to be a goal ahead of Tahiti at the moment.
Yep. I think Louis Dominique will be delighted with this first half, Gordon.
Yes, they've played without fear, Vanuatu, and the shot just wide. But chances are coming thick and fast for them, and Louis Dominique will be more than happy, as you say, with the way his young side have approached this opening match of the OFC Futsal Invitational. Here's trouble. Bea for Tahiti. Couldn't get past Jackie John. And another opportunity, just flashes wide of the Vanuatu goal.
Yeah, Vanuatu just a bit slow there to pick him up. Here's Tahiti sitting, waiting.
Ben Hanghai, Donald Avick. Avick, Jackie John. So Vanuatu finishing with arguably their strongest, most experienced lineup in the closing moments. Oh, and that was well cut out by Mana Farahia. Jackie John. There's a real confidence and swagger about Vanuatu on the ball. And they're taking to their task with enthusiasm and no shortage of individual skill. Jackie John, Donald Avick. The pass cut out, but Vanuatu will restart. Donald Avick might fancy a shot, checks himself.
No way through though.
No, it's excellent shape and defending by Tahiti. And look at that, it comes up with the ball. So excellent defending by
They've done well there, Tahiti.
the Tahitians, yes.
That's a real feature of their defending.
And the shot rather rushed.
Australia in the house, Gordon. I see them coming in on the far side, getting ready for the next one against the New Zealand Invitational.
Well, they'll be intrigued to see the scoreline as Tahiti 1, Vanuatu 1. Donald Avick's shot well wide. Some activity on the bench. The referee having a word to Coach Hetapu Hunter, I think. Well, that is the break. And look at that. The body language of the Vanuatu side is really energetic. They know they've just put in a very good first half.
Yep, a good
performance.
shift.
A very good shift. Plenty to think about for Tahiti.
Okay, we do a break and we come back for the second half in a few minutes.
So confirmation of the score at halftime in the opening match of the OFC Futsal Championship Invitational. It's Tahiti 1, Vanuatu 1. Join us back here very shortly for the rest of the match. for handball. The culprit, Usiera Pukoki. Albert Toll does well. Jackie John checking onto the right foot. Oh, nice play by Donald Abbott through the legs of Michelle Maihuri. Vanuatu flexing their muscles here, looking for their second goal. That would give them the lead. And the interchange of passes just overhit the final ball by Albert Toe. It was a good run by Ben Hungai, just in behind Martana Bao. Oh, and a chance for it. Oh, and it's taken off his foot by Jackie John just in the nick of time.
Yeah, well done by Jackie John. Tino was in there.
Pakoa Rakom.
Is that familiar 2-2 with Tahiti just sitting deep back into the pattern of the first half.
Well, Gabby Tavera has given away the free kick. It's taken by Hangai. Avik. Rakom. Avik again. Well, Tahiti battling for the ball and could produce a reward. Excellent defending by Vanuatu. It's probably the first time in the half they've genuinely been pinned back. They've just had so much possession and had very little defending to have to do of their own. Oh, it's in! Can you believe it? Vanuatu have taken the lead. Pakoa Rakom with the left foot shot. The goalkeeper spilled it. And on the balance of play, you can't really deny Louis Dominique's side their rewards.
No, certainly with the number of shots that have gone in as well, Gordon, you know, 27, 28 now. So, yeah, unfortunate error, though, for the Tahitian keeper, but 2-1, probably a fair reflection of things as they stand at the moment. So, Tahiti will just have to find something else here.
Well, the new goalkeeper is Teva Duro for Tahiti, and I think Apera Tetauira may well have been injured as that ball struck his hand. It might have done something to his fingers there, and hence the change.
Duro, usually the number one. He's a versatile player. I know in Fiji in 2011, Etapu Hunter, he was always torn between using him as an outfield player and as a keeper. He had an incredible game in the first game against Solomons as the keeper when Solomons won 1-0. But he played in the outfield in the final, scored as well.
Well, we may well see him used as a flying keeper at some points.
That's right. That's a good point, Gordon. We saw a lot of that in Wellington. It was interesting in the third game when Tobias Sito, the classy playmaker of the Australians, once they went 3 goals up, they experimented with the flying keeper, and 3 goals as a result. They did it so well, but that was more about practice. This might be more out of necessity if it comes to that. 2-1 up Vanuatu, about 14 and a half left on the clock. What a turn up for the books.
Yes, and questions being asked of this Tahitian side. What have they got in reserve to haul back this 2-1 deficit? Who would have picked that? Only moments before this match kicked off, Paul, we were talking about how this would be perhaps a development opportunity more than anything else for Louis Dominique's side, and here they are 2-1 up.
Yeah, that's right. It's great. And what I like about it is to me, you know, futsal's it's a game for young players, and when federations take a bet on the younger guys and look long term, sometimes those rewards, not that they're getting their reward just yet, but they can come a bit earlier, and you can, you know, just the energy of youth, the willingness to move and to play quickly, to play off the cuff, to try things, can really result in something special. And regardless of the result here, I think Vanuatu have shown us enough today so that they can be taken seriously over the next couple of years. I expect them to build and take a lot of heart from just this sort of 30 minutes that we've seen from them.
Yes, certainly has been riveting stuff from the team known as Gideon in their homeland. Maasai was forced to come all the way out there. The intensity of this game at close quarters is picking up by the minute. Tahiti can ill afford to concede a second here. Oh, and Avic just on the cue.
To take a deflection, Gordon, did it?
It took a deflection and it's ended up in the back of Tahiti's net. Teva Duro could do nothing. And Vanuatu 3-1 up. Donald Avic. A 2-goal advantage for Vanuatu. I referred to them before as the Gideons. It's a biblical reference. Certainly of an Old Testament style. It does mean destroyer, although Louis Dominic is quick to point out that it is only a name, and that FIFA Fair Play values are very much to the forefront of everything that this team does. And right on cue, a foul is conceded.
And that's Tino again, just getting into that danger area, Gordon. He's got great feet. You know, the game needs players like that who will take people on and get themselves into the danger areas. So a well-earned free kick there.
What can we expect from this play?
I'm sure it'll be well rehearsed. They will have spent a lot of time looking at their set pieces. We've got a guy either side of the post. Let's see.
Well, it's going to be taken by Tevari Kaiha. Motatino is in the penalty area.
It's just the execution of the pass. I think it was a bit bobbly.
Yeah. Tevari Kaiha takes it. Teva Duro, the goalkeeper, joins in. Oh, excellent play by Rakom.
So Vanuatu just continuing that tradition of being a force to be reckoned with at the OFC champs, Gordon.
Yes, they had a purple patch between 1999 and 2009 of finishing in the top 3, but they've never lifted an OFC title and have been bridesmaids on plenty of occasions. But are we seeing the start of a bright new dawn? Straight at the goalkeeper. Opportunity to counter-attack for Vanuatu. Motetino does some emergency defending for Tahiti, and he's managed to win possession for his team too. Rakom, straight at Duro, that's an easy one for him. Launches the ball forward. Tino, given away to Donald Avic. Dudley Dominic is dispossessed. Well, it's just getting a bit frenetic out there as both teams desperately trying to wrestle possession off each other. both for very different reasons. Vanuatu to preserve this 2-goal advantage, and Tahiti just to get a second goal that would give them a lifeline. Oh, and it might come for them now. No. I tell you what, I really like Pakua Rakom, the number 8 for Vanuatu. He's very, very tidy and quick on the ball.
Yeah, he's had a good day.
Duro now coming out of goal, part way up the court. Paul, would a fourth Vanuatu goal finish Tahiti off?
Well, you never say die in futsal. It's, you know, we just need to look back to that last final when Tahiti went up 4-1 against Solomon, and at that point I remember sitting in the stadium in Suva thinking it's all over, and you know, it just takes 3 or 4 minutes. Like a lot of court sports, once the momentum shifts, it really shifts, and you can ship 2 or 3 goals quickly. So no, I don't know. I mean, 10 minutes 52 left on the clock. Yeah, a fourth goal be pretty difficult, but I wouldn't rule it out. I've seen it all in the world of futsal.
Well, plenty of food for thought for Hetapu Hunter, the Tahitian coach. He's been in charge of the national side for a number of years now.
Just be nice to see Tahiti get on the ball a bit more, try and keep possession, dictate the tempo a bit. I think at the moment, you know, Vanuatu can eat up those minutes while they're in possession, and though Tahiti are as well as organised as anyone will be in this tournament defensively, I think they need to really take it to Vanuatu now, because these guys they'll be nervous about that last 10 minutes.
Well, Louis Dominique will be more than happy. He's been talking to his charges with an air of a man who's just telling them to calm down somewhat and remain composed. It's one thing to build a lead, it's quite another to try and sit on that lead and retain it. As you say, Paul, in a court sport where a shift in momentum within seconds can mean the difference between winning and losing. It's far from over yet. Duro coming out of goal. Gabi Cavera is fouled. Tahiti have a free kick. Kaiha. Masai kicks the length of the court to his opposite number, Duro.
Tahiti up to 5 fouls as well, Gordon. So next time it's to the 10-metre penalty mark if they can commit another infringement.
Paul, at what juncture would Hetapu Hunter perhaps decide that Teva Duro is to join in the outfield assault?
Pretty soon. I don't think he'll leave it too much longer. Just depends how often they've practiced it. Some teams are reluctant to do it. New Zealand, for example, they tried it last year against Australia. And talking with Scott Gilligan, it didn't go well, but Scott's feeling was that they had to try this when they get into these situations. So, you know, sometimes the players might be a little bit tentative about doing it, especially in a match as important as this one, because it's a high-risk strategy. You know, when we watched Australia doing it on Sunday in Wellington, the feeling was that the players couldn't wait to do it. They knew they weren't going to lose possession, and when they did, they became so well organised so quickly that New Zealand, there was no way through. But I would expect them to roll the dice shortly.
Usiera Pukoki. Matana Bear back to Pukoki. Straight to Rakom. And a chance perhaps for the fourth, and it's a good save by the goalkeeper, Duro.
Yeah, that was nearly the fourth, all right. Great little 1-2 there.
Maihuri. Bea. Haven't seen a lot from the Tahitian skipper today. He hasn't quite lived up to his billing. But Pakoa Rakom has.
It's nice.
Oh, and a chance for
Gosh.
number 4. Well, they've overcooked it, Vanuatu,
Yeah,
haven't they?
They butchered that one. It was a lovely move though, Gordon.
Long range shot off target.
Still playing with confidence, Vanuatu. Oh, they're really enjoying themselves at the moment. I know they'll be feeling the pressure and wanting to hang on to this lead, but they're still willing to try things. A couple of nice 1-2s, players taking people on, and it's really the best way to approach it at this stage of the game when you're up. You don't want to sit back.
Paul, I think that description has summed it up. A chance for Tino, that's a great goal. Game very much on. Tahiti 2, Vanuatu 3.
And it's that danger man Tino again, with just that little moment. It's a terrific shot into the side, just inside the far post. But the danger man in Tahiti in the New Zealand series has come here to Auckland and continues that form.
Well, could the pendulum be about to swing back in favour of Tahiti? Plenty of time left on the clock, isn't there, for them to
8 minutes, yep, plenty of time.
Retrieve the situation. Now Bea storming forward. Oh, and it's broken kindly for Vanuatu. Duro's coming out to play with it now. The goalkeeper. And the opportunity for a long-range shot was missed. It was all rather hectic there for a moment.
It has. It's really opened up, Gordon. Who can tell what we're in for in this last 7 or 8 minutes? It could be another half a dozen goals here.
Farahia. Well, can Vanuatu keep their heads when the pressure really comes on through? Oh, it's 3 against 2. Oh, and he had an opportunity. Joseph Hang-Hang-Kon had 2 players to his right and he decided to go himself.
It was desperation stuff. Well done though, Tahiti.
Bea. Looked like a foul, but
Didn't it?
referee hasn't agreed with our assessment from the commentary box.
And Tahiti can't afford another foul, otherwise it's a 10-metre penalty.
Well, Louis Dominique, the Vanuatu coach who had been hoping for an element of composure, is getting it now, but running down the clock is not an option for Vanuatu, and they've almost been caught out at the back. Jesse Takaro. Hangai.
Is that enthusiasm of youth, Gordon? Trying to play your way out of trouble with a Maradona turn.
Yes, they've got the lead, but it's dangling precariously at the moment.
Tahiti with their tails up.
Alexis Tufa. Kaiha, a chance for Tahiti. Oh, it's just over the top of the crossbar. And Apachung with a left foot shot. Plenty of power, but overstruck.
End-to-end stuff.
Oh, that was good defending by Tufa.
It was, wasn't it?
Such a crucial touch.
Another counter.
Well, the excitement levels have ratcheted up. Oh, and the goalkeeper, Glendon Marside, nearly sold his team out there. He didn't really go with any sort of conviction for that ball. And Apachung Jackie John, and it can't be kept in. Tavera for Duro. Jackie John's touch isn't a good one. Oh, and a chance for the goalkeeper too.
My goodness, Gordon, we've still got another 5 minutes of this. And with the stop clock, it'll seem like 20.
A thrilling match to open the 2013 OFC Futsal Championship Invitational. Vanuatu 3, Tahiti 2. Well, a hint of a handball. Referees aren't coming to play on this, and a chance for Tahiti. Oh, the goalkeeper blocked it. I don't know that he knew too much about it. Oh, and he's done it again.
He's done well.
The technique was unconventional, but it was effective. Well, I think for the first time in this game, apart from the opening goal, the initiative is with Tahiti.
Most definitely.
They're forcing this issue here at Trust Arena. Tino looking desperately for an opening. Vanuatu on the rack. Usiera Pukoki. Tino's shot is blocked. And Vanuatu can't connect their passes up. They're just under so much pressure from this desperate Tahitian rearguard action. And Bay is forced into a foul. It was a clear infringement. Just put his hand up on his opponent, and Paul, it's the 10-metre penalty.
It is, and it's a crucial one.
And it looks as though it will be Donald Avick to take it for Vanuatu. He gets a hug of encouragement from goalkeeper Glendon Marsai. And Teva Duro. The Tahitian multitasking futsal veteran. Can he keep Tahiti within touching distance of Vanuatu, or will it be Donald Avick, the hero? He's missed it.
And time out. And remember, of course, Gordon, if any more fouls from Tahiti, and it's straight back to that spot. So 6 now, but each consecutive foul will send them back to the spot. But with 4 minutes left on the clock, I just wouldn't know how to pick this. 3-2, a lot of momentum with Tahiti, but there is an element of composure about Vanuatu. They've done well. They'll be feeling the pressure, but yeah, just depends on what Louis can say down there, and Hitapu the same with his guys. He's been in these pressure situations before, and so have some of these players, and in the end that might be a telling factor.
Well, we've been treated to a futsal feast. Plenty of excitement, excellent goals, some fantastic defending, and a match narrative that you couldn't script. The Futsal Gideons from Vanuatu lead Tahiti by 3-2, in a match that many felt they would be doing well to stay within touching distance of Tahiti, but they proved everybody wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, a futsal feast indeed. It's only the first course. Maybe the New Zealand Invitational can upset the Australians, Gordon.
Well, that would be a major boil over if that could happen. It's a big ask, of course. Nice first touch by Jackie John.
Yeah, good pivot work from Jackie.
Donald Avick. Oh, and chance now for Tino. Oh, and that's good defending.
Yes, because Tino on the turn there, he was He was nicely positioned there for the equalizer.
Well, the card being produced, Ben Hungai. The Vanuatu skipper, the recipient. Tino will restart the game, and Usiera, Pukoki and Duro, the goalkeeper, shot flashes wide.
So a flash of the flying goalkeeper there. Not so much in the build-up play, but at the set piece.
Well, time is the enemy for Tahiti, and the longer Vanuatu can hold on to this one-goal advantage, the more likely it is we will see Duro join the outfield offensive on the Vanuatu goal. Oh, and this is a good chance. Tahiti a level. It's Tino again. 3 for him, 3 for Tahiti, and we're all tied up.
Good work from Pukoki there too. He had the patience to not try the shot. He just laid it off for the advancing Tino, and 3-3. And I guess with that pressure mounting, no surprise. And now it's really up for grabs, and you wouldn't rule out a complete comeback from Tahiti here, Gordon.
No, it's looking pretty good for Tahiti now. They've clawed their way back into this game. The 2-goal deficit is no more. And almost like jerseys in the park, Paul, next goal wins, perhaps?
Next goal wins. Yep, that sounds fair enough.
Well, certainly the next goal will be a massive morale boost, if not definitive. Duro with the throw. Handball by Pukoki. Not picked up. Donald Avick. Ben Hungai. Tried to lace a ball into Jackie John, but Usiera Pukoki managed to get his body in between Jack and the ball. And that was a hopeful one by Hungai.
So a hat-trick for Tino, Gordon.
Yes, and a valuable one at that. It's kept his team in this match. Vanuatu looked as though they might well have secured themselves a win when they managed to take the score out to 3-1. And there looked to be no sign of a Tahitian comeback. That's all changed.
Vanuatu will have to be careful too. They're on 4 fouls now, so...
Oh, and there it is. The tables have been turned. Te Wari Kaiha with an excellent goal, and Vanuatu now trailing 4-3 in a pulsating opening match. Have the Futsal Gideons got one more comeback in the locker?
And that's that momentum shift we were talking about of the court sport, I guess, Gordon. Perfect example, really, isn't it?
Yes, Vanuatu have just slipped off base here. And that's asking way too much of Albert Toe to get on to that pass.
Good to see some pretty enthusiastic Tahitian supporters in the crowd too, Gordon. Got some good support out there, making a bit of noise.
Well, this is not a good sign for Tahiti. Motetino has gone down in a big pile, and Donald Avick is going to be yellow carded for his troubles.
Yep, and that takes them to five fouls. Tahiti can't afford to lose their playmaker. Hope he's okay.
Certainly do, Paul. There's a number of games, of course, left to come. Tahiti's next match is against the New Zealand Invitational side tomorrow at 4 p.m. local time. And they finish off the group stage 2 days from now against Australia. Also a 4 o'clock kickoff time locally.
So, of course, 2 teams from each group going through to semi-finals. Australia and perhaps Tahiti, the favourites to join them. But they've got a little bit of time to negotiate yet. About a minute 43 on the clock. And both teams at risk of giving away a 10-metre penalty for another foul.
Well, Vanuatu have got that minute 43 to do something about the semi-final picture. At least the shape of this group. Duro. Farahia, nice skill by him. Alexis Tufa. Now Vanuatu can break. Just the physical difference between the Tahitian side and the Vanuatu side coming out to the fore. Vanuatu giving away something in the physicality stakes. Good save by Duro. I'm not sure actually whether or not he meant to touch that. It looked as though it was going out. But just as Vanuatu are trying to slip themselves into different areas, they're getting muscled off the ball. But here's Tahiti on the counter. Chance for Vanuatu. Oh, and it's straight back to the goalie, who spills it. Duro, and he's happy to just clear it the length of the court.
Well, regardless of the result, Gordon, there's a lot Vanuatu can take out of today.
Oh, and a chance. Oh, good save by Duro. Oh, and that's a cynical foul. There was only one place left for Anapa Chung to go to, and that was in on goal.
And a critical moment there, eh? The moment passed, he had the shot, but Duro did ever so well to keep it out. But yeah, Vanuatu now will have to face the penalty. Tino for number 4. Good to see he's recovered from that knock he took earlier. But just getting back to Vanuatu, Gordon, regardless of the result today, I think they can take great heart in the fact that they've backed themselves to develop over a few years. You know, first came up with a brand new team, a whole lot of young guys, working hard, specialist futsal players. I'm really encouraged by that, and you know, and pleased for Tahiti too, because they have their style as well, and in the end it looks like it may prevail.
Masai against Tino. Goal for Tahiti, goal for Tino. It's his 4th and Tahiti's 5th.
You've got to admire a side that hasn't really played well, but they come back and score 4 goals towards the end to take out a match, and good on Tahiti. You know, they'll build from this, and I know they'll be looking forward to that game with Australia, but they've got the New Zealand Invitational tomorrow, and a terrific opening to the championship, Gordon. Goals galore, nice little crowd starting to build up, and plenty left on the plate for the rest of today.
Oh, good shot by Rakom. How good was that? And an equally fine save by Duro. Yes, Paul, it's been a wonderful opening game to whet the appetite for the next 4 or 5 days here at Truss Arena. As the final whistle sounds, Tahiti have prevailed by 5 goals to 3. 4 goals for Motitino, 1 for Te Vara Kaiha, and for Vanuatu, Nelpini Iasi, Donald Avik, and Pakoa Rakom.
Okay, no interview, no highlights, so we're going to close soon to rescue that from the equipment. So we see you soon for the second match of the day. Huh?
It's been a pleasure bringing you the opening game of the 2013 OFC Futsal Championship Invitational from Truss Arena in Henderson, Auckland, New Zealand. I'm Gordon Glenn Watson, and on behalf of my co-commentator Paul Tui, we'll bid you farewell for now and see you later on for Game 2 of the tournament between New Zealand Invitational and Australia at 4 o'clock local time. Wherever you are, take care, and for now, goodbye.